Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'd like to start with apologizing for the quality of my voice, but I guess the topics, the frequency of the topics that I am talking about, and the weather, it's very cold in Poland, as well as probably my latest travel, all has been affecting my health today for some reason. And I'm really honest with you, I normally don't get sick. So I was trying my best to not to give in and a little bit dragging myself to make this video for you. But how could I not make the video, which one more time again will present to you the evidence and connect some dots, because it looks like a lot of things, most of the roads lead not only to Vatican, but to Chabad Lubavitch. How they are all connecting through that Chabad is simply just marvelous. It's just marvelous. So we're going to look into it again. And why is that? Because in Argentina, there are big fires in the region of Patagonia. So we're gonna focus on this topic today only. And before I start, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who is becoming my Patreon member. It really helps me a lot, guys, as well as your donations on PayPal. Thank you, Fred, for your donation. And to anyone who is considering to support me and would like to have something tangible in your hand, this is the product of my creativity and my art. This is my book for children, book number 1. You can order it by making a payment on PayPal. The information is down below in the description box underneath the video. And I greatly appreciate your support with ordering this book, by ordering this book. So, where do we start? Well, I have dedicated a video to Javier Milei and his connection to Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. Javier Milei, of course, the President of Argentina. I didn't say who he is, to those of you who don't know. But I would like to start with few things that are not allegedly, okay? Things that we will not question because they simply are there. There is evidence, there is recording, there is video, there is an exchange. And what am I talking about? So let me start with my video first, okay? Before we go to Netanyahu and Milei together. Let me start with this video that I highly recommend you to watch, because again, it looks like it was good that I have recorded this video. Here, just in this part, you will see how emotional Javier Milei was when he was visiting Israel. So let me mute myself just for a few seconds. Let's take a look. His visit to Jerusalem.
Así es, voy a hacer... Se pide, se agradece, se emociona, está llorando Javier Milei, abraza a su rabino, a su líder espiritual, con quien comenzó el camino de la Kabbalah, por el cual él informó que va a estar en un...
So as you can see, he was mucho emocional, if I said it the right way, very emotional, visiting the wall. You know, you remember what I say, guys. I'm not the only one who says it, of course, but the ultimate test is, do you show up at the wall or you don't? And what you do when you show up at the wall. This one went another level, like mucho emocional. And in that video, which I will attach the link down below in the description box, I was also presenting to you allegedly the evidence, but allegedly, that he could be related to Benjamin Netanyahu. Actually, they can be very much likely, but allegedly, cousins. Milei. This is the last name of Benjamin Netanyahu from his father. And it looks like that name is the family name. So check out that video. I'm not going to talk about this again in this one. But what I will present to you now is this. There are two videos of Milei meeting with Netanyahu. Let's play the first one, and then we go to the one that, of course, is related to Chabad Lubavitch. So let's take a look and let's take a listen.
My friend,
How are
you? It's good to see you.
It's very good to see you. It's a pleasure for me to take here again.
You know what I said?
¿Sabe qué dije?
Javier Milei is a real,
Que Javier Milei
is a real Javier. You know what
es un
Javier is?
verdadero
Yes,
Javier.
yes, exactly.
Javier is a real Javier.
Javier es un verdadero Javier.
Exactamente. Gracias.
Well, thank you.
And I feel like a big brother with you. And all Israel is a big nation, and I have a big feeling for Israel.
No, we feel it. Thank
Yes.
you. We have a big feeling for you in
Nosotros
Argentina.
tenemos un gran afecto por ustedes en Argentina.
So I have a big feeling for Israel. All right. We kind of know this, most of you. And why this is all important, again, we are going back in a moment. We are going to Patagonia, and we are going to Javier Milei's country, Argentina. But before we do that, let's take a look at the very, very, very mucho special moment. And this moment is when Netanyahu is, I think he's giving this to Javier Milei. He's giving a picture, a very special picture. And who is on this picture? Well, it's the Rebbe. Who was the Rebbe? That was the Rebbe Schneerson, who no longer with us, or maybe he is in the spirit, in different flesh, because they like to reactivate the same spirits and put in different bodies. I'm not joking. So he met with Netanyahu, and I will play this for you again to show you this. He was so-called the Messiah, and the Rebbe was the leader, one of the most important leaders in the recent history of Chabad Lubavitch. And that Chabad Lubavitch truly is a sect. It's an organization that Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, even Trump, you know, I would say he's a part of it, because he's visiting the grave of Rebbe, and that Rebbe was a very important figure, and he directed a lot of rabbis to be stationed in the certain countries with certain missions. So here is the moment in which you will see what Netanyahu is saying about encountering that moment of meeting Rebbe that is very important for Javier Milei as well.
That's it.
Picture that
So you know what he told me in this meeting?
¿Sabes qué me contó en la reunión?
First time I came to see him
La primera vez que fui a verlo,
was, he said to me
me dijo,
4 years before this picture was taken.
antes de la foto,
He said to me, "You're going to the UN.
me dijo,
You're going to a house of lies,
vas a ir a una casa de mentiras.
house of darkness. If you light a single candle,
Si prendes
people
una
will see this light, truth from afar."
esa luz,
So this is very dear to me. Thank you.
y esto realmente lo aprecio
Si tú
mucho.
revisas mi discurso en la ONU,
If you check out my speech at the UN,
tiene mucho
you would
de
see
ti y del Rebbe.
It has a lot of the red.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Era una persona increíble.
Like a prophet.
Como un profeta.
And he had laser blue eyes.
Y tenía estos ojos láser.
And so clear.
Y era tan claro.
And great prophetic.
Y también un don profético muy importante.
Great.
Sí,
Amazing.
increíble.
Please.
All right, so now let me show you the very meeting one more time that took place between Netanyahu and the Rebbe, the prophet Rebbe. Just a quick reminder to those of you who are not sure, why am I talking about this again? Because that movement, that organization, that sect, it's incredibly influential. And the representatives of Chabad Lubavitch are stationed in Russia, Ukraine, United States, of course, Israel, of course, Argentina, and many, many other countries. And they have a vision for the future that is being implemented right now. And that vision is that the West must be destroyed, that there will be a huge war between, the West will be destroyed, actually thanks to Islam as well, okay? So there will be a war between Christians and Muslims. They will be just, keep on watching. Then the Messiah will come back, but Messiah will come back when the third temple is built. So there are stages to their madness, let's say, but they are actually executing that madness, right? Now, this meeting is important because in that meeting, you're going to see the encounter between Netanyahu and Rebbe. So this is like the most holy moment one could have if you are part of it. And that was captured on that picture that was framed. I think he gave it to Milei. Anyway, let's take a look, because this is really all connected, guys, with the fires in Patagonia.
Mano Netanyahu, a tua cara vaga, mas vai de saco que me dizer, da Barraba pela Raga, que te fala de Teixeira, ou tudo para que se Barraba de Yamin, בזמן שישראל מלאכה, מה זאת ניתצו כמה עניינים. מה שרואה עוד, וגם משהו שעדיין משיח ליבו, אז הייתה משהו במה ידיעתו.
עושים.
הכנראה שהיא מספיק, כאילו שהיום כבר כמה שעות בדין ועדיין ליבו, אבל יש עוד כמה שעות, אבל יש להשתדל גם היום, בבשורות טובות. זה שמחה וטוב ליבו. כדי שחסידים מקפידים שכל ימנים ומת שמחה. בשורות טובות, הצלחה רבה.
And so Netanyahu does everything with joy. Now, let's go to the story with Patagonia. Let's take a look. First, let's look at the map again. I have to remind you this map because I've showed you this twice, guys, I think. So let's see. No, I will show, let me take you to the video. Let me show you the fires first. So this video is from about 2 days ago. Just to give you an idea, one of the most beautiful lands in Southern America was burning. And you might wonder, is this normal that it's burning? What's happening there? Well, oh well, of course, a lot of people know what's going on. That's how the beautiful nature looks like right now. Just so you know. Look at this level of devastation. You know, it's not just the trees, of course, right? It's the soil, it's the animals. There were people who were living in those regions as well. So why Patagonia? Let's take a look at this video. Let me find it. Telling you guys, it's really just, you know, it's really all connected. So let me mute myself now. This guy will explain to you, and then I show you the images from the region again, and then we go to the master plan that Netanyahu had as far as Argentina, Patagonia goes.
So if you guys don't know what's happening in Argentina right now, they're basically trying to make it the new Israel. And anytime somebody speaks up about it, the president of Argentina calls them anti-Semitic. Here's what's going on. There are fires all around Argentina right now. People are speculating that Israeli tourists are starting the fires in order to purchase the land at cheap prices. If you're wondering how can this even be possible, here's the thing. People believe Argentina's president Javier Milei is in cahoots because he repealed a law that used to ban the sale of land immediately after a fire. It's important to have laws like this in places like Patagonia because the land is so beautiful, and if somebody knew that they could just set the place on fire and then they could get it for 10x off, there's going to be some psychos that might consider doing that. Now, guess what? It doesn't just stop there. Javier Milei then issued an executive order at the end of 2023 that repealed a law limiting the foreign ownership of rural land. This means that now there is no limit for how much land foreigners can purchase in Argentina. So now when you can purchase land immediately after a fire at such a cheap price, and you opened up the market to foreigners, and you already have Israelis coming in droves, don't you feel like that could be a recipe for disaster? And the thing is, Argentina's president is so obsessed with Israel, he has no problem selling what I believe is one of the most beautiful places on earth, Patagonia, Argentina, truly top 5 most beautiful places on earth, giving it away to Israelis. And the Argentine people don't have a say in the matter, really? So I've been watching some of the domestic news in Argentina right now, and the shit that these people are going through facing the fires, it's horrible. There's this video of this lady going viral, and she's crying, and she says, I know what's going on. They're burning all of Patagonia, and they're selling the land to the Israelis.
Y acá lo que pasa es que están queriendo venderle la Patagonia a todos los judíos, loco, esto se sabe hace un montón, acá todo el mundo lo sabe, está lleno de israelitas, está todo el mundo comprando la tierra, nadie hace nada y la única gente que pone el pecho es la gente que perdió todo. Acá nos dejaron solos.
Another video of this guy saying the same thing. We're no longer surprised that they're setting Patagonia on fire for us. We know it's for a real estate interest. They don't even hide it anymore. They do it right in front of our face because they have power on their side. Why do you think the government sent no aid at all? The entire country has already realized it. Patagonia is one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and it's being destroyed potentially for big money interests to purchase the land and then make what, like a colony of Israel? What's going on here? So if you guys don't know what's happening in Argentina right now, they're basically...
So he explained the situation pretty well, but we will go a little bit more into details. Before I close this window, I want to read 2 comments from this post. Someone says here, Argentinian here, yes, they call you anti-Semitic when you alert and denounce this. And also they set off their machine. They call on the local version of the Anti-Defamation League. It's called DAIA to investigate you, and they urge your employers to terminate you. I am a reporter, and for the past 2 years have been trying to open my fellow Argentinians' eyes to the Israelis' genocide and its connection to Argentina. Now it seems they are finally awakening in the hardest way possible. What is happening breaks my heart. The fires are engulfing the most beautiful part of the world. And one person below says Israelis were caught setting fires. That's confirmed. So I came across, let me actually, let me find it. I came across a post right here. Allegedly, this is one of those who was setting the fires, right? Allegedly. Everything is allegedly, everyone, right? Allegedly. And this is the woman he was talking about, the local woman. But what is really the idea with this? What is the plan besides the Great New Israel project? I told you it's not just Khazaria 2.0, right? In the ancient land of Khazaria, as I've mentioned before, it looks like, because it's Pax Judaica, this is like global situation, okay? Like, I'm being sarcastic because how you're gonna handle those topics? You look at it, it's like no one will be safe. For real. You have to be in a different frequency to be invisible, because that's how they want, like, Pax Judaica everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. So what took place at the White House during Netanyahu's last visit? I don't know if it was before New Year's Eve party or after New Year's Eve party, but something was there. There was a map. Let's see. And the name of this plan, let me find it, guys, right here. Plan Andinia is the map Netanyahu brought to the White House recently. I mean, of course, allegedly, everything, everything is artificial intelligence and is allegedly. Israelis are setting fires in Argentina and Chile. Yeah, Chile as well. Greater Israel will take Patagonia cleared and depopulated for redevelopment. Israel acknowledges no borders on land it covers. I hope this doesn't have a sound that you're hearing from this post. Okay. So let's read this. Argentinians are discovering that the massive wildfires in Patagonia are being caused by Israelis. This is crazy developing story. So here you have this. Why are Israelis going to South America and start wildfires? In 2012, an Israeli tourist was detained in Chile for setting a fire, destroying more than 17,000 hectares in Torres del Paine National Park. He paid a small fine and was released to return to Israel without further ado. Argentina is burning. Massive wildfires are tearing through Patagonia, displacing communities and destroying protected land. As the fires spread, local residents have begun reporting something unsettling. Foreign individuals caught allegedly setting fires, with multiple reports pointing to Israelis. Authorities say investigations are ongoing. Patagonia is not just wilderness, it is one of the most resource-rich, sparsely populated regions on Earth. Fresh water reserves, fertile land, strategic geography, low population density. It is also a region that has long attracted foreign interests, legal and otherwise. This brings up a term many Argentinians know well, Plan Andinia. Plan Andinia refers to a mid-20th century geopolitical concept discussed in Argentine military and intelligence circles, proposing the establishment of a Jewish state or autonomous zone in Patagonia under certain conditions. Whether speculative or strategic, it was real enough to be studied, debated, and feared. Plan Andinia was never implemented, but ideas do not need to be implemented to shape behavior. Well, I think it's being implemented now, right? They need only to justify long-term positioning. Land acquisition, NGO influence, tourism corridors, dual citizenship flows, security cooperation, these are far more common tools than tanks. Argentina's south has seen large-scale foreign land purchases, restricted access estate, private conservation zones with opaque governance, foreign security personnel operating under civilian cover. Yeah. Wildfires introduce a new variable that Israelis will love: forced displacement. Throughout history, environmental destruction has often preceded land reorganization. Not because fires prove intent, but because chaos creates opportunity. Emergency powers, property transfers, international assistance, reframing of sovereignty as management. There are credible reports of Israeli caught setting fires on the hiking trails of Patagonia. In 2011, an Israeli was caught setting a fire that burned 17 acres of Chilean Patagonia. That was mentioned in the beginning of it. When communities feel their land is being taken, reshaped, or destabilized without consent, they remember history. So here is the map. Argentina has its own history with foreign interference, IMF restructuring, and externally imposed solutions. In that context, Patagonia is not, I don't know this word, guys, apologies, peripheral, I think. It is strategic. And Plan Andinia persists not as a plan, but as a symbol of vulnerability. Wildfires should unite a country in defense of its land, not silence discussion. History doesn't repeat verbatim, but it rhythms, especially when land is burning. And everything is a conspiracy until it isn't. South America is being prepared to be occupied. Our continent must say a resounding no. It is June 18th, 2025, edition Diario Uno, original Argentine newspaper, published this op-ed by Sister Milagros Juarez. In it, she writes, Plan Andinia. Until years ago, it was said that the Andinia Plan was a crazy anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. But after events promoted by Milei, it is clear that it was not fiction, but a reality that endangers South America, since it would leave us, the neighboring countries in the future, in the situation of Iran or Syria, an imminent war zone, after the creation of a new Israel in Patagonia. The very old Andinia Plan essentially maintains that prior to the creation of the Zionist and illegitimate state of Israel in the Middle East, the other option for the UN to send them as refugees after World War II was Argentina. Sorry, guys, I had to get some water. But that area where occupied Palestine is today won. But Argentina remained as a second option to establish a Jewish state if something went wrong in Palestine. Do you connect the dots? Following the assumption of the presidency of Javier Milei, a convert to Judaism, in accordance with the Andinia Plan, there was a massive acquisition of land in Patagonia by Israeli businessmen at rock-bottom prices, as well as various undervalued resources and direct flights from Tel Aviv. These flights, however, could not, for now, touch an area that the Malvinas veterans had saved through legal means. The final straw came last Friday, so this is from June last year, when just hours before Israel attacked Iran, Milei posed with Netanyahu. Bilateral agreements also came into effect so that Jews who move to Argentina can have their social assistance and insurance benefits recognized. Why, hours before the attack, did Milei put the finishing touches on what appears to be a mass exodus should Israel eventually lose a war against Iran? South America is being prepared to be occupied. Our continent must say a resounding no. We are Christians, we speak Spanish, we must not receive any kind of exodus from another continent. We have not yet recovered from the Venezuelan exodus. No, there will be more now, right? I ask the Heavenly Father to give the indigenous leaders of South America and all the people the strength not to let ourselves be invaded like Palestine. We saw the fate that befell them for being trusting. We have families to protect, an ancient heritage that must not disappear because Zionism destroys everything it touches. I leave this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So this is the article from June 18th, 2025. Now, interesting, isn't it? Plan Andinia. Let me take you to this video, guys. And sorry for my voice, but I explained already. Let me take you to this video as far as the business goes. Let's see where I have this. Here we go. Okay, let me mute myself. Let's take a listen to this video.
Gold Corp is the corporation with the largest number of hectares available in Argentine Patagonia and one of the few foreigners with almost unlimited powers over mining and the exploitation of natural resources in general. Patagonia Gold Corp, based in Canada, is a subsidiary of Newmont that is under the shareholder control of BlackRock, the most important and powerful investor group in the world. Currently, Gold Corp owns 350 properties and more than 175,000 hectares distributed in Santa Cruz, Neuquén, Río Negro, Tierra del Fuego, Jujuy, and Salta. Just for gold exploitation, Gold Corp pops around $650 million annually. Gold, which is extracted from the Cerro Negro deposit, located in the province of Santa Cruz, is not the only mineral that leaves our country through the back door, since we must also add silver, copper, and lithium, which represent around $3 billion annually in profits, and billions of dollars in losses and resources to Argentina. If you want a second part, I invite you to follow us and leave your comment.
So now I will take you back to the map that I have showed you twice before. You remember this map I showed you? Where is Argentina? Right here. So now we have the Venezuela situation. We still have Brazil left and a few other countries along the way, but the Great New Israel Project. Let's not be surprised, everyone. And those Nazis or not Nazis, because then again, it's like all twisted story. They escaped to South America a lot and also to Canada, but we are now focusing on Argentina and the fires. Nothing is a coincidence, guys. And when you look at it, when you really look into it and you see the same Chabad connecting all those people for the same purpose of the creation of the Great New Israel, again, Pax Judaica. So I hope this really makes sense when you look at it from this standpoint, because it's almost like it's obvious, but of course, allegedly, right? Allegedly, because everything has to be done with joy, as Rebbe said. So they do it with joy, I guess. I will attach the links down below in the description box. This is the main topic for this video. Again, apologies for the sound of my voice, but I will do my best not to get sick. I hardly ever get sick. So it's a strange feeling for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate, guys, that you hit the thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel and you leave so many great comments underneath my videos. It really helps me, keeps me going. And thank you so much for becoming my Patreon member, as well as donations on PayPal, and for ordering my book that I absolutely love for children. And with this being said, everyone, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Let me know if you are from Argentina, especially if any one of you is watching me from Argentina. Please leave in the comment section. If you cannot comment, which I understand your opinion, at least say that you are from Argentina. So I know there are some of people from Argentina who are watching me. All right, guys, I see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.